Hey, what's up, you guys? Whether it's your first time with us or you've been with us for every single episode, this is the Players Club podcast, a podcast by the players for the people, and I'm your host, Darien. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to episode 18 here at the Players Club podcast. I just want to say thank you from the top of the show, just for all the love you guys have shown throughout the last couple episodes. It's been amazing to kind of kickstart 2022 off with just some growth. It's been amazing to see the podcast grow, and I'm trying to continue to bring you guys good guests that you want to hear from. And so please continue to send in people that you want to hear from on the show, because I love getting those requests and trying to make them happen. And so here we are with another guest. I'm looking forward to this guy coming on. Like I said last week, the Super Bowl was kind of a win-win for me because I knew one of my teammates was going to win the Super Bowl, whether for the Bengals or the Rams. And so we're going to talk to one of my really good friends that plays for the Rams who won a Super Bowl in his second year in the league. This guy plays offensive line, was one of my really good friends throughout college. His name is Tremayne Anchrum. Looking forward to having him on the show, ask him about the whole Super Bowl process, the Rams process, just kind of national news. Because everybody wants to know, like, how'd y'all do it? What happened? Because it definitely was a storybook ending to win the Super Bowl in LA with the LA Rams. Come on. You can't script it any better than that. But before we get there, I just want to cover some things like where I'm at in my journey, then just things coming up in like I guess the football world. So where I'm at right now, just kind of still training for pro day, and then I kind of took a couple of days off to go out west with some of my good friends and make some memories out there. I went to Vegas, and you can only spend so many days in Vegas, guys. It's like, all right, well, let's get out of here. You have fun. I lost in blackjack. Wish I would have learned how to get it from the table, but look, we live, we learn. We're learning here. But it was a good experience, good to kind of reset, get away, and just make some memories. And then now I'm back training for pro day. And then a lot of the guys I'm training with, not everybody gets invited to the combine, but the combine is coming up next week. So that's going to be big news for a lot of people. Kind of get the opportunity to go to Indianapolis and compete in front of all these NFL scouts and people. And then the rest of us will wait until our pro days. That's the majority of college athletes. There's only a handful of guys who get invited to the combine. So that's kind of where I'm at. Still in my process down here in Florida, training House of Athletes here in like Weston area and just kind of grinding. So we'll see. But yeah, that's where I'm at. But look, here's another episode. Sometimes I got a lot to talk about. Sometimes I don't have a lot to talk about. Today is not one of those days. I want to get straight to the interview with my good bro, Tremayne Anchrum, Super Bowl champion, former Clemson alum, now offensive line for the LA Rams. Coming up next, we'll hear everything about the Super Bowl, his journey through Clemson, and then what's next. Looking forward to this. It's going to be a treat. You guys enjoy. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to episode 18 here at the Players Club podcast by the players for the people. And I'm joined here by one of my really good friends, former teammates, and just recently, Super Bowl champion, Tremayne Anchrum. What's good, bro?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you on, bro. Glad to have you on. We're going to get straight to it. Well, first, before we get into the questions, people might see, some people are listening, but if you're not listening, you're watching the YouTube video, you have on a Hawaiian shirt. Where are you right now in the world?
Okay, in the world right now, I'm in Cabo. Kind of just taking a little bit off right now.
As you should.
As we should, had a long season. And our off season's a little short, so I had to kind of, get in and get out of Cabo before I start up next week. But yeah, I got the room right on the beach, got the Hawaiian shirt, feeling good.
As you should, bro. But yeah, all right, so right into it. So first off, obviously, you just won a Super Bowl championship. How do you feel being a Super Bowl champion?
Honestly, I haven't set in yet. It's very surreal. It's like a mountain of work just kind of coming to a climax, and you're like, wow, like that really happened. Kind of like when we won the Natty.
Right.
It just felt like, you're the last people playing, the last two standing, and you're the last one standing. It's like, man, this doesn't feel real, but it was a group effort, and everyone, from the staff, faculty, everybody, players could just feel like, hey, we emptied the tank and we've done everything we needed to do.
No doubt, bro. How was the parade? I saw a bunch of pictures. I live vicariously through social media, but how was the championship parade?
Pictures don't do it justice. It was the energy was crazy, man. People was cheering. People was going crazy. People were throwing the champagne off the sides. Like it felt like, I don't know, it felt like the whole city was in the locker room with us when we won it. Like when we won it, it felt like that. But now just everybody kind of in on it. It was great.
No doubt, bro. And as cool a place you can win a championship, there's probably no cooler place than to win in LA. Like LA is a dope city. Like it's like you know what I'm saying? Like it's the city of all cities. To win a championship in LA and for them not to have one, and you might know, when's the last time the Chargers or the Rams won a championship? Like,
Long time.
Look, a long time. And so yeah, it was amazing to see it. It almost felt you tell me. It felt like destiny. You know, hindsight's always 2020 because like the Bengals would have won. You could have been like, well, you know, it's destiny for Joe Burrow and T and the guys to win. But this is how it felt to me from my perspective. It felt like we played LSU back in 2019 and we were in New Orleans. And it was like, we could have won that game. It was also like, bro, LSU just won in New Orleans. Like, what was the feeling for you guys like playing the championship in LA?
I mean, like the whole season, you know, the whole narrative is you write the story, you got the pen. But in the same breath, it felt like everything just kind of lined up for us, right?
All right.
Everything kind of just, you know, God put certain things in your way to knock them down, and we just kept knocking them down. Even when we had like rough patches or things didn't go our way, we still would take care of business. We would get through it. We would learn and grow. And it just felt like we did everything we were supposed to when we were supposed to do it. And when we won it, it was like, man, we knew we were supposed to win it. We knew we were in it. And we put everything we had into this year. But still to do it just felt like this feels right, you know?
Yeah. What was I'm curious, because we've had some celebratory moments. I'm thinking about after our second national championship. What was your final, like your first reaction when you guys won? What'd you do? What'd you think?
It's like there was a ball in my chest and it dropped to my gut.
Yeah.
Like I immediately, I think it was when AD got the sack. I remember when we scored, like on that sideline, when we're getting ready to go out.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp and all the guys were like, "Hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make it, you know, big." Da, 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 da. Like, you just knew that these guys had it in the bag, right? And when the defense took the field and AD got the first stop, that was the third down. I was like, "Oh my God, he's about to do it." Because when AD decides to end the game's over. Period.
Sure.
I don't know if you knew that, but if AD decided to tackle you, there's nothing you could do. So, you know, they guards was in trouble, and as soon as he took the field, I saw that look in his eye. I was like, "Oh, it's over."
It's wraps.
And so when he made that last sack, I just dropped to my knees and I was like, "It's finished." It's like a 12-round fight. That's the knockout blow. We all kind of just went crazy on the sideline, and I knew it was like, I'm a world champion.
So how does it feel to be a Super Bowl champion in your second year?
It feels unreal. Honestly, I can't describe the amount of things that had to go right. Like you feel lucky,
Yeah.
and then there's a feeling of like everything that needed to happen happened. Like the players that came and left, the people that did and that contributed when they needed to step up. It's like, man, this is really rare. For the amount of things to go right, for the amount of people to step up when they needed to do it, when their bell was rung and they answered, you were like, wow, this is rare for a bunch of special people to get things done. Not even just from a field standpoint, but like logistically. Like there were things we had to figure out when practice couldn't go, or when we had to change things because of COVID, because COVID was still a thing.
Yeah,
things happened, and yeah, for real, it was hot, sounding like hotcakes, but we made it work. And to know that there's a lot of people out there that are great players, but haven't been in situations or didn't have teammates step up when they needed to, or the time wasn't right. You know, they have great teams that didn't win it, and that's just how it goes. So,
yeah.
You know, luck met preparation, met execution, and boom. Yeah.
Happy for that ring. But no, it's amazing,
yeah.
bro. It is cool to see just like from like everybody's kind of supported you. It's like, dude, second year in the league, that's like such a blessing. And you kind of alluded to something like the next question I was going to ask you was obviously a key part to y'all's team this year was getting a lot of veterans to come in and be a part of this year's team. So what was that like acquiring like Matt Stafford, Von Miller, OBJ? Like what type of leadership did those veterans bring into you guys' team this year?
I mean, just like you said, there's a lot of guys that are really great players that don't win championships, right? These guys didn't want to be one of those guys at all. So, you know, they come to a city, you know, party cities, a lot going on. They had none of that. They came in and said, hey, to make this machine, this team work, you got to come in operating at a very high level. Like no BS, no playing. You got to come in, you got to hit it running. And these guys picked up and didn't miss a beat. I remember I played Von Miller in the preseason when we went to Denver. Telling you, he came in and when he had the same kind of juice, and he had even more juice like now than he had then. And I was like, wow, this guy really took it to another level. And there's no Von Miller. He was a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
This guy's been in big time games, so he knew exactly what it took. And his leadership, his experience, his like tenacious ability to go get the ball and improve everyone else around him only made the elite players that we already had step it up even more.
So when did you feel like we got a chance? Or you could be honest. Just be honest. Don't give me like. When did you really like? We might have a chance to win it all this year.
I think it was how we responded after November. We didn't win in a game. We didn't win a game in November. We went no shave November, no win November. That's what we had. That's what we had. Like.
See, y'all was 0 for 3, 0 for 4? What were y'all?
0 for 3. We put 0 for 3 up.
0 for.
And you could see, as bad as things were going, nobody panicked.
Yeah.
Nobody did anything drastic. We just put more into it. Obviously, we went back, made adjustments, did everything there. But, like, usually when you have a car, like, one piece stops working, the other pieces are like, I'm start slacking off. Or like, oh, he's not doing it. Or I can start pointing fingers. None of that happened. Everyone still operated at a very high level. And I think, after we responded in Jacksonville, I was like, sorry, Trevor. After we kicked the crap out of them, I was like, okay, we're not deterred by anything. Like, even when we lost Robert Woods, who's one of the greatest receivers in the league now,
right.
OBJ stepped in and did a great job. And it's like, we got the tools, we got the coaching, we got everything we need. Let's make it happen.
That's a good point. I really was curious about that because, like I was saying, I think you've been a part of national championship teams in college, and you have to be really good right away. But in the league, if you look at the Bengals having a chance to even win a Super Bowl. They had a good year, but it wasn't like this crazy year like like the Chiefs or the Packers that had to where like they won like 10 plus games, or I don't know how many games they won. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot different. Yeah. And so in the league, I feel like you got to peak at the right time. So next thing I want to talk to you about is like going back to like Clemson days. Like you were a winner there. How did you feel like that prepared you to go into a winning organization?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We were expected to win. We had everything we needed. We had a process that we knew we had to stick to.
Yeah.
And, that helped me coming into this program not miss a beat, really. No matter what my job was, what was going on this week or that week, I knew that the process, I had to follow it. Everything I learned from my coaches, Coach Caldwell, Coach Sweeney, all those guys, Coach E, like all that stuff prepared me to be a pro well before I was a pro, And even when we got big games and like certain players are like, I haven't really played in like a conference championship. Or I haven't really played in a this and this. Like just being able to like tell them that you're fine, just do you, just be you. Like
right.
It doesn't have to take anything brand new. And our coach Sean McVay echoed that too. It's like, hey, it doesn't take anything new. You ain't got to reinvent the wheel. Just do what you do best, at the highest level, right now when it's required. We did a lot of good on good at Clemson. We did a lot of this, that, and it was like, okay, some of those same lessons are here. And once you apply it, like, it's plug and play.
That's a good point. I think that's one of the things that people overanalyze that haven't been in those situations like those big time moments. They think that you got to do something crazy to go win this game. And really, you just got to do the same things you've been doing and just execute. That's kind of always, and it's like, but if you've never been in those moments or had people with those experiences you've been around, you just assume like, oh my gosh, it's the biggest game of your career. Like, what you got to do? And it's like, in your mind's like, I just got to do what I've been doing. And hopefully it keeps working.
It's just another Sunday. It's another Monday. It's another Thursday, right? Like you treat it like that. But some people aren't conditioned to be winners. Like that's the one thing I'm kind of figuring out up here in the NFL is that like being mentally conditioned to know that you're a winner is pretty rare.
Right.
To go out there, to expect to succeed, to know that if I do all the steps I need to do, all this process I need to do, and I'm gonna win, and nothing's gonna stop me. Like that's a mental edge not everybody has. And once you kind of like see it you can't unsee it. Even if a guy is like really, really good in front of you, if he doesn't have that mental winning edge, he's done.
Yeah.
When it gets hard, he's gonna fold. And like
That's huge, bro. Hey, look, I think I'm gonna
huge.
put this podcast out and tell every coach in America to watch this. They're getting some gems right here, some real coaching gems. This podcast, I always tell people it can turn into a comedy show. We can turn to we can turn to faith show. We can whatever is in the air right now. This is a turn to like a football leadership podcast. We don't get into some other stuff in here in a second, but like this is gold. I think any coach or any player, young player, any of age is like getting some gems just about like what it takes to win at the highest level. And obviously you see the fruit. Like, I mean, my man just won Super Bowl. We were able to win a lot of games at Clemson, and these are the things that sometimes they seem mystical because like people are like, how do you do that? What do you do? But like really just you got a process, you stick to it, and it's like you treat every day, every game like it's the same one.
Yeah.
That's gold, bro. All right, so obviously we'll get to some big moments here, Clemson career. But just starting off, one of the things I like to ask guys from every school is like, what made you choose your college?
That's tough. Well, it's not that tough.
I hope it's not.
It just felt home, right? Like the people there, the environment, the school, the fans, just everything felt comfortable. I go to like a lot of big schools. They kind of give you the same song and dance. They give you the same rope-a-dope, whatever, right? Oh, here's this, here's that. You're gonna do this. Like it just kind of felt repetitive, and I was like, like is this all college football has to offer? Like it's cool, but like I'm gonna just choose somewhere I'm gonna be happy and just kind of play it out. But like
Right.
going to Clemson, it was different. Like, hey, like we care about Tremayne. Like obviously we know you can play. You wouldn't be here. You couldn't play. We'll develop you, do all that, yada yada yada. But like we care about you. Like how can we help you as a human being? How can we help you become a better friend? Eventually a better father, husband, like all that. Like let's develop the person. And once I seen everything that they had to offer, and the people there were genuine, I was like, looked at my parents. I was like, y'all ready to go? Like we got this up right here. Like let's. I took my visit late, like late. I was probably either gonna go to either like Nebraska, Southern Cal, Colorado, something like that. But then once I went to Clemson, like a month and a half before signing day, I was like, this is a no-brainer. Like, what am I doing? Like, and it's 2 hours up the street. Let's go.
Can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
Can't beat it. That's big. I think I said this, and you say something sometimes, you're like, man, that's pretty good. I'm gonna keep saying that. I was talking to one of the guys the other day I was training with. I was like, man, you can win a lot of places, but you can't develop as a man in every place. And that's how I would describe Clemson, because I'm with a lot of guys from different schools, and like same thing you're experiencing in the league. You get guys from all these other championship teams, and it's like, I ain't saying they don't do a good job, but I just know the job Clemson does with the people at Clemson. It's like you can win a lot of places, but you can't become the type of man that like Clemson allows you to become everywhere. That's
true.
Huge,
that's so money, bro. That's so money, and it's crazy because like one of the I don't know, I forgot who it was. It was one of the recruiting people who were telling me like maybe Clemson isn't for you. Legit, like told me that. I was like, maybe it isn't for you. Like you got to find what's best for you, and if you want to go and have an experience, or you don't want to be like developed as a man, you just want to ball, get your little check, get your little BS, whatever education, like that's you're not gonna take seriously, then there are places for you for that, right? There are places that will guide you and like do your homework for you and do all that. That's cool. Like if you want to be pushed and you want to have something special, like this is for you. Make a decision that's real for you. And at that point, I was like, hey, I think this is right for me.
Yeah, that's big. I'm glad you came. Glad we met each other, bro. All right, here's one thing that people don't know about you, and it's one of the funnier things I remember. Because you enrolled early, and so I remember hearing this story on the back end, and I was just like, bro, what? Tell us about your first major and how that went.
Ooh. Yeah, little 17-year-old Tremayne came in with a geology major. Yeah. Geology. I was gonna be a weatherman, get on TV and talk, and, look handsome, get it wrong about half the time, but still just collect my check,
Hey, that still might be in your future. Who knows? We'll see.
We'll see. I don't think the screen's wide enough to fit me, but we'll get there when we get there. But nah, dog. I used to carry rock boxes. I was taking some crazy classes. Yeah, after about a year of that, I went to my office. Told my guy Luke, I was like, "Hey man, you gotta get me out of here. I can't do this and be a football player." I didn't know how good a football was gonna be. I knew I was gonna be pretty successful, but I didn't know how fast. And then when they kind of said, "Hey, we not need you to start playing here," I was like, "Oh, okay, well, do this, and you gotta do this, gotta do extra film study, extra lifting." And I was like, "Hey, look, I need something that's gonna align with what I want to do and give me the best chance to be a successful adult." But I can't be a super scientist right now. I can't be Jimmy
You,
Neutron
you can't.
and Kurt Warner and Orlando Pace. Like I can't do that. Some people can. That's not me.
No, that's hilarious. But I remember sitting there and they were saying like, I guess you and Coach. I don't know if you Coach Sweeney had a conversation about it, but I remember it was like, he was like, bro, what are you doing? He was like, I don't think you don't have time to do this. And it's just like you really didn't. And that's one of those things. Look, hey, we want to be student athletes, but look, ball don't come first, but ball come first.
Ball come for like we here for an education, but you ain't come here like the rest of them.
Right. It's a little different.
A little different.
Bro, another thing is just you're my first O lineman to come on a podcast, bro. You know, look, I'm here to show you guys love. Like obviously, one of the things that this big stigma is about the O lineman is that you guys can get a lot of love. So, what love would you send out to any big O lineman out there watching right now? Any OL coach, any big O lineman, from one big guy to another, what love are you giving out to the people?
Most O linemen, they could probably agree with this. We weird. Every single O lineman, I ain't never met a normal O lineman. If I did, I would never want to play with him. Kind of big, take up a lot of space, get a little awkward sometimes, and we have a really tough job that no one truly appreciates how tough it is. They give the love to the D lineman who, successful maybe 3 out of 50 snaps. You got to be successful. If I mess up 3 out of 50 snaps, I might as well go ahead and be Jimmy Neutron and go back to being a weatherman. But nah, and the message I tell them is like, be you, like, and be the best version of you, right? And don't do it for anybody else. Do it for yourself. Um, you know, be humble, stay down to earth. Know that it's a journey, it's a process. Wherever you are now ain't got nothing to compare on where you're gonna be. Um, Take it day by day. It gets hard for sure. It gets really tough, but if you work diligently, you believe in yourself, you listen, you learn, you go to other people. There's a lot of different ways. It's not like typical positions where there's one way that can do a lot of things, right? Um, O-lineman, there's 100 different ways to do a certain kind of block, right? Learn from that. Take what works for you. If this coach does this well, one, your position coach is right, but one, just take what you can from each person's game and build your own because we're all different, right? And just go be great. You only get a certain amount of chances. You ain't gonna be kick stepping and knocking people on their ass in the park when you're 45. You can play catch. You can run it back, be a DB, but you can't be an O
Right.
lineman. But for so long in your life, so live it up.
What's the mentally, because it's different mentally at each position. What mentally is like what makes our alignment successful? That's the question I'm trying to ask. Because like it's different in every position. Like you said, alignment, you don't get a lot of notoriety. You barely get a lot of recognition. It's really good when the running back might give you a shout out in the media. You know what I'm saying? Like what as an old lineman, like what mentally keeps you going?
Competitive greatness, period. Um, and a short memory. Competitive greatness, a short memory. Um, as an old lineman, most of the time it's you versus another player, maybe other two players, but just wanting to be the best at that down, right? Whether it's inside, if it could be like 1st and 10, it's inside zone. Like I need to be the man right here. I need to make sure I get everything right. This guy is not going to beat me. I'm going to move him. Whether it's a pass down, it's 3rd and 10. We know it's 2-minute drill. All right, you're going to have some confidence, right? Believe in yourself. That competitive greatness brings the best out in you, right? Breathe, work through it, and go get it. Because it's a long game, right? Like most
Yeah.
O linemen never come out the game. Like,
Right.
ain't no running back packages where different linemen come in. Nah, it's you and yourself out there. And honestly, yeah, it's you versus that other guy, but honestly, it's you versus you. That competitive greatness starts inside. because it's a hard job. Like, I don't know O lineman that's finished the season healthy ever. You know, you
Yeah,
got to fight through that, and
it's
they
tough.
expect you to just running back got a hurt ankle. Oh, he's not 100%. Can't really be out there. He's not gonna have a great day. He had 10 carries for 37 yards. It was okay. O lineman, you can't have that. Tough it out. Competitive greatness starts inside, and you got to whoop your own tail. Whenever you start getting lazy in your stance, or that guy's getting edge on you, the guy's talking to you, got to get you at your game. You arguing with your center and your guard. Nah, nip that. Competitive greatness starts with you. You versus you, and whoop the softer version of you inside you.
Good word, bro. Good word. Look, people getting some good stuff today. All right, moving on. So, one of the people that I think had a part to play in your career who is now retired, but the Clemson fans would love to hear. He's kind of like he's very like his name is very O lineman, like kind of in the shadows. Maybe they get a lot of credit, but man, he's a legend. What would you say about Coach Caldwell? What would you tell the people about Coach
Ooh,
Caldwell?
one of the greatest to ever do it. That guy was a fountain of knowledge, experience. He was tough on you, but he loved you. And like there were days where I was like, I can't do this, man. This is tough. And it come from Coach Caldwell, but he'd always remind you, like, life's this tough. Anything you want to do worth doing is this tough. And yeah, you can fold, but that kind of man is that the kind of man you want to be. I think Caldwell was responsible for a lot of success at Clemson, not only just because being the run game coordinator, figuring all that stuff out, and having some of the best schemes for us to block, but he developed us and made us push past some of the toughest things that people had to deal with, the kids had to deal with, young men had to deal with. And he was there day in and day out, no matter what it took. You can count on anything being consistent in your life. It was Coach Caldwell, and I'm grateful for him. Wouldn't be
Yeah.
here without it.
We talked about you winning a Super Bowl. How was it winning national championships at Clemson? Just really quickly, like you were able to win two. Just like your Clemson football experience. Like how was that?
It was special, not only just the Clemson football experience, the Clemson experience in general. Like it was special. It taught me a lot, helped me grow up, changed my perspective on things, helped me grow as an individual. Maybe see the world differently as well. Football, man, that trained me to be a winner for sure. I was super unsure of myself, kind of coming into college, especially with football. I kind of just picked it up. I mean, I've always played it, but I've never thought I was that good. But then coming to Clemson and just always knowing that I can be successful in whatever it is. Um, Clemson hammers that into you pretty good, and from every perspective, right? I mean, they tell you like, hey, you step foot on this field, you're gonna be a winner, you're gonna be successful. You step foot in that weight room, you're gonna be a winner, successful. Everything cultivates for you to be a winner in every area of your life, and they find people that make sure that you know that kind of instill you, and that kind of gave me like a quiet confidence and a very subtle belief in myself that I can take this all the way. And I remember winning a national championship. It was special. Like it's hard to argue that that wasn't one of the top five most special moments I've had in my life, right? Like,
Gotta be.
just gotta be to see it all come together like that, and to do it with the boys you came in with, like that's special, man. First one, second one was special. I
Did you
mean,
win?
even
Did you
going
win
too
a
far.
state championship?
I didn't know in the state championship. No, I was on a
Okay.
loaded team, but we did it. We was like the Rams, but without the whole winning it part. So
I was about to give you some
yeah,
more credit. I was like, Tremayne Anchram's won at every level. That's not true. I'm sorry.
don't do that. Don't do that. Nah, you're gonna make a liar out of me and you. So nah, it was special though. I can't lie. Clemson definitely prepared me for life going forward.
It's amazing, bro, and it's worked out. All right, so you leave Clemson, you go train for a little bit somewhere, wherever you went to train. What was it like getting drafted? And take me through your process because there's been different guys on here. And obviously
Mm.
you've seen the roster. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's process is different. Some guys know that when the first pick is announced, I am going to X team, and that's not everybody's journey. I think it's cool for the people to get an insight to like everybody's different pathway. So, what was your draft process like in your draft day?
Well, I mean, shoot, the process started before then. Like I was getting calls and stuff from everybody. I had like 10 or 15 calls within 3 days of the draft. Um, Strange enough, teams hadn't seen my film. They were like, "Yo, you're actually pretty good." And I was like, thanks.
Like, I didn't play on 2 national championship teams. Yeah, I'm all right.
I think I know how. Like I would do the interviews. I would do like the board and stuff, and like I knew I was like short for a tackle for sure. But like they see the film, they're like, dude, you can ball. And I was like, yeah, like I'm never gonna be too flashy about it or too. I ain't got like a theme or nothing. Like some people got
Right.
like I'm this, I'm that. Like I'm Tremayne, like I'm Tree. I just do this. So when the draft came, I knew I was gonna play at the next level because I mean I knew I'm good enough. I played everybody that's in the next level, Pro Bowlers, everybody like that. Like I knew I was good enough, regardless of where I got picked. I didn't think I was gonna get drafted, but we'll see. I heard different things. So kind of watching the first day, it was cool seeing my boys go. Kind of shocked about T. I was like, that's wild.
Right.
Seeing everybody else kind of go was cool. Day 2 and day 3 were weird. There were some people I knew I was definitely better than, and other people knew I was better than. I remember a guy that got drafted before me even came to me after a game and was like, bro, you're amazing. I watch your film all the time. I try to be like, yeah, I'm like, oh, I appreciate it. Like, whatever. Seeing him get picked up, I'm like, oh, wow, like, this is crazy. So seeing all that kind of go, I know it kind of discouraged my family a little bit just because, like, we know what this guy is.
Right.
My dad was super discouraged, but I knew that, like, I was never, like, a high recruit. Like, I was 2-star for most of my career. High school, like, I was picked last. I was never a winner. Like, I had to really struggle to get where I needed to go, but eventually I knew that I'd be successful. And same thing happened at Clemson. Like, I was last. I was the worst lineman in the room. Took a long time to figure it out. I got, talked down to. They had me messed up, and I was like, let me progress. Let me work to it. If I get my foot in the door, it's over. I'm already won. Like, I'm gonna make this, the best example of hard work and perseverance I can show. I got to the league, and I was like, all right, here comes the end of the draft. I'm not probably gonna get picked. I got a whole day 3. I was just taking calls like, oh yeah, like we're gonna offer you this, we're gonna offer you that for free agency. I was like, all right, cool. I got my notebook out. I'm like, okay, cool. So it's not a pen, it's a toothbrush. I'm like, okay, cool. Whatever. Next call. I'm getting another call. And then I turned the TV off and just started, jotting down offers. I got a lot of calls. And I got a call from the LA number. I heard he got a call from the Chargers. I was like, oh, who is this? I was like, oh, it's the Rams. I was like, oh, okay. So what you got? What's the deal? What's the number? The numbers. I tell you the numbers. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we drafted you. I was like, what?
What?
I go over here, run, turn the TV. I was like, oh. And so, because they were scrambling because it was COVID draft, but I was like, oh wow, like I was surprised. He was surprised. I was surprised, and I was like, really? He was like, Sean McVay was like, Tremayne Anchrum still on the board? Yeah. And he pulled the trigger, and then it was like right at the beginning of the round. Like they made the decision fairly quick. So when I got the call, I was surprised. Like stepmom was screaming, mom was screaming on the phone, like everybody was going wild, and I was like, oh wow. So it was a pretty surreal moment. But I knew I was going to play in the league no matter where it was. I was going to dominate, and I was going to excel, and I was going to get to where I needed to go. So I just needed a foot in the door.
And you did, bro. Now you're an LA boy in the city.
I'm in Cali with it, baby. I'm in Cali.
Come on, bro. What was your 2 years, your 2-year career so far? What was your welcome to the league moment?
I think it's probably my first year. There's this guy on our team, the D tackle. He's all right. His name's Aaron Donald.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. Whatever. I think I had like a one-on-one rep against him in like a team pass setting. It was a team pass setting. It was a play action, and I'm thinking I'm gonna come out my stands, really get into him. Like I'm just gonna fit him, right? Treat him like a regular guy. No, he said no. He came off the ball, and he moved so quick. I thought I blinked. He was so quick. I thought I blinked, and I'm a fairly quick guy, so I was like, whoa. And as soon as I got my hands on him, I was like, okay, it's over. Like I'm panicking in my head, like okay, I gotta get my hands on him. I got my hands on him. I was like, all right, cool. I was mistaken. I didn't get my hands on him. He got his hands on me. And then he picked me up and he decided to drive me back into the quarterback. Plays dead. It's over.
What is it like going against Aaron Donald? Because I see what he does to people on Sundays, and I'm like, how can you stop this man? So what is your perspective on Aaron Donald?
One of the greatest defensive players, if not the greatest defensive player that's ever touched a gridiron. Honestly, the guy is he's instinctual. He's got everything you want as far as physical characteristics. He's strong, fast, quick. Um, the guy knows the game of football really well. He reads offenses like the back of his hand. Like it's just he was my welcome to the league moment. I mean, the guy, like, I thought I had him on a simple play action. I come out my stands, he's faster than me, right? So I'm immediately panicking. And then as soon as I get my hands on him, I'm thinking, oh, I'm good. I got my hands on him. But in reality, he got his hands on me and proceeded to drive me into the quarterback and end the play. He's a game record, he's a practice record, and he's also a really good teammate.
Are you ever surprised about what he does on Sundays? Because like,
not at all.
y'all don't go live. Like, when do y'all ever go live? Because I mean, you don't really go live too much.
Not too live, but we get after it. Probably about like 85% speed. It's pretty much game reps for sure. But we know when to pull back. We know when to kind of cap it off. Shoot, I'm not really surprised by anything he does. I mean, if the guy decided to start walking on water, I might be like, oh, well, here goes AD. Like if he picked up a ball and started toting it like it was Smith, I'd be like, it's AD. It's just he's so capable of so many things in the game of football. It's just like whenever I see him do anything to a 350-pound man, he's got it in it. He got it in his bag.
Yeah, it's crazy to see some of the stuff he does on a consistent basis. It's not like these one-off things. Like, he'll consistently beat triple teams. It's like, how are you beat three grown men? Like, how are you not stopping one person? In theory,
right? But like, again, it's one thing if a guy is just better than you, right? Because then one, he's just better than you. Bigger, faster, stronger, more talented, whatever. It's another different thing if somebody wants it more than you, right? Like, he's determination, his drive. Very rarely do you find the will and the ability way surpass everyone else. And he's got that. The way this guy works, nothing like I've ever seen before. It's almost almost on like an insane level. Like, does this guy like get sleep? Does this guy like think like us? Does he drink water like us? Like, they say, oh, he put his pants one leg on at a time. I think AD jumps into his pants same time, both legs. You know what I mean? But it's just, he's different. That's all you can say.
Bro, I'm glad to have you on the pod, man. Super Bowl champ. My first Super Bowl champion. Hopefully I get some more guys to come on in the years to come onto the Players Club podcast. But you're my first Super Bowl champ. Glad to have you on, bro. Glad to see you be successful. And I'm glad you got a ring this year. That's a big blessing. So thank you for coming on to the pod, man. I'm sure the people will enjoy this. You can sign off however you want to.
I appreciate you having me. Your first alum, first Super Bowl champ. Hopefully one day I might be your first Hall of Famer back on this podcast, but that's way down the road.
Way down the road. We go manifest it over here, bro.
Hey, man, one day at a time, baby. One day at a time. Thank you so much for having me, dog.
McEachern's finest, bro. Tremayne Anchrum. Much love, brother. Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to my guy Tremayne Anchrum from taking away from his vacation out in Cabo. That's what friends are for. Look, come on the podcast, straight from Mexico, straight from winning the Super Bowl. Just trying to give you guys some good interviews here. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Tremayne, super good guy. Anybody knows him, just one of the most loyal friends. Great people. Wish him nothing but success in the rest of his career. He's off to a great start. Super Bowl champion in his second year, so definitely the sky's the limit. Hopefully he plays for 20 years. Who knows? Whatever. But want to give a big shout out to him for coming on to the podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As you can see, like, my favorite thing is always interviewing people who I love to talk to. And so I always enjoy his interviews, and I think they get better and better each week. And so, yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed episode 18. And like always, just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting, subscribing, liking, sharing, everything you can do to show love to the podcast. It means the most to me. Like I said, this is something I'm kind of following, my new passion I'm falling in love with, something I want to do going forward. So just as you guys support me, it definitely puts wind in my sails to keep going and just keep getting bigger and better. And so, like I said, whatever way, shape, or form, would love to get us to 3,000 subscribers if we haven't hit that already by the time this drops, and just continue to grow and just continue to get the Players Club out there to people who haven't heard it, and they continue to bring content to my loyal fans who've been here since, you know what I'm saying, who've been here. And so I just want to continue to bring you guys good guests, and looking forward to this next week's guest. It's going to be another amazing episode. Hopefully I can get this guy on, and he's been a hot topic on the Players Club, and so looking forward to seeing if we can get him on. But all that being said, episode 18 here at the Players Club. Show love to the podcast if you've enjoyed it, which I hope you have. And then next week we'll be back with another episode. This is the Players Club podcast, a podcast by the players for the people. And I'm your host, Darien Richards. See you next week. Peace.